And we back. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Watch on My Reviews. This is your boy James, where I'm here to give my honest review while trying to watch my mouth. And it's not gonna happen, but that's all right. We'll live to fight another day. Joining me as always is my co-host, Mrs. Best. Y'all say what's up to her.
Hello, happy Saturday. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, all of that.
Yes, like, comment, subscribe because it gets us seen, the algorithm of YouTube. We want to make sure we get the views, make sure we get the subscribers. So it helps if you guys like the video. And while you subscribing to my channel, please subscribe to Mrs. Best channel. Any recaps or reviews that I do not cover on my channel, we cover on her channel, such as Love and Hip Hop Miami and Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, which are both on right now. And we are recapping on her channel. We have a great time. We go in. Y'all do not want to miss it if you're not subscribed. And while I'm at it, shout out to my girl Jen Buddy, who was here before we could even get started. I appreciate you so much, my love. Thank you for being here. Y'all, let's get into this mess. Because that's all this was some mess. So we pick up where we left off, which is with Selena and Sophia, so Gucci Shantae, at the pool, sitting up there talking about the incident of what happened between them. And how Selena pretty much put on the table, you charged at me. I didn't have an issue, but you seem bothered by me. And so Gucci said, okay, I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to go back. I don't want to do all that. I just want to let you know I am sorry for all that has happened. And you have to understand, I had to press charges against you because directly, I had a lump on my head and, I had to get stitches and stuff. And I'm looking at So Gucci like, you wouldn't have had all that had you not charged at this lady and just said hello and moved forward. I'm just saying, well, did I miss something, Mrs. Best? Because it was
Who
kind of like,
starts? You don't take off on nobody if you don't know how to fight. Like, you just don't do that, especially if you don't want to fight and the person is not coming at you aggressively. Like, so Gucci, I'm done with this bitch. She look old. Her wigs is toe up. Her face card is declined for a long time. Her husband's hair looks a hot mess. I'm tired of her. I feel like she is everything that embodies jealousy and someone who does not actually love themselves as much as they proclaim themselves to love themselves, because this lady, you charged at somebody. Anytime anybody points that out, she wants to move forward real quick. Anytime she's accountable or gives anyone apology in any circumstance, she wants to just move on, not relish in it and continue to admit her wrong and stuff. Like, she get on my last nerve. She make my teeth itch. I'm just disgusted with her, honestly, as a parent and a person.
talk like she got dentures. We
She
don't.
do.
I can't tell. Like, and I've been to dental school. I can't tell. Like, I really can't because if those are dentures. Those are some, like, they don't fit her face the way they're supposed to as dentures. So I'm wondering, if they are, did they size her wrong? And why she got them little bitty ass dolphin teeth? I'm just saying. Like, okay, that's neither here nor there. Shout out to Bondi Blue for the dolphin teeth comment. But Selena is pretty much, when she's giving her back what so Gucci's giving to her, so Gucci's like, you have an attitude, and she's like, no, I don't. I'm smiling. You the one that's cursing. You the one that's telling me I shouldn't bring up nothing. I shouldn't. You don't want to go back and everything. And Selena begins crying. And when Selena cries, it didn't really move me, but I understood her. I understood what she was saying. She goes, I'm tired of this. Like, I'm tired of always having to submit to your feelings. And I think that that's what she was doing this entire time that JJ's been married to her. I think that two things are true. I think that so Gucci Shantae Sophia was trying to make sure she won up Selena. And maybe that caused her to have some tension and maybe necessarily be mean to her. I feel like that was the major things that have happened. And I feel like on the other hand, I feel like Selena also probably inserted herself in a lot of things when it came to her daughters. And I think that rubs some Gucci wrong as well. I think that they're both kind of in the attack of years with each other, but I think it affected Selena most because it probably looked like, the marriage failed because of her and it's successful because of Gucci. Like, I feel like that's really what's going on. But however it landed. Go ahead, Mrs.
No, I just did not get that. I think at one point both of these women were guilty of carrying on the drama, but I don't think Selena want that man. She got a whole man of her own. So Gucci has a history of not even being able to maintain a halfway normal relationship with her own children. Her daughter called her grandmother over her living mother when she was going in a dark place. So Gucci is not there for her own kids. And it seems like whatever energy that she carries with her has come on to JJ and his family. Now he's still responsible for it, but especially listening to the kids, which you'll come back to later on in the episode. Clearly, Sophia has done a lot to these kids that has been problematic. She has spoken about their mama season after season after season without the lady being on this show because she knows she's in the friend group of the mom. So Gucci just gives me someone who's extremely jealous, and even though she is successful in real estate, it seems like she's always going to feel like she's in competition with other people. She definitely is not someone I care to see on a show like this. I think she would do better on surface level reality TV, like HGTV shows like House Hunters, things of that nature. She's just better there because then we don't have to actually dig into her personality, which isn't all that great. She's got a lot to figure out, and I don't think she should do it on TV.
I agree. I agree with that completely. So they hug it out. And Gucci says, I'm sorry for everything. You don't have to hurt anymore. When she said that, it kind of made me feel like, okay, so what else did you do then? Because to say those words, it's kind of like, what are you insinuating? Are you insinuating that she was hurt for years because of the marriage she and JJ now has with you? That's what I'm saying. It felt like that's what she was apologizing though. It felt like that's what it was.
Don't nobody want JJ. Don't
No,
nobody want him no more. I tell you that when Selena was with him, she was younger. I can understand that because they had a little teenage love affair, got married,
right.
had kids, started a whole life, grew up together, all of this. But JJ, where he's at now, if anybody do want him, it may be for some of the money, but don't nobody want that man. You can't
I
take him
agree.
seriously.
I agree. Because first of all, I'm not going to be with nobody with no plans. That's the first thing. That's not going to happen.
Grown
And
ass man wearing berets. Talking about
Brett
God
is the
darn it,
plan.
God darn it, God darn it. No, that man is desperate for attention, and so is so
And when you and
Gucci.
your and I'm sorry, but when you and your dad look the same age, we have a real problem here.
Yeah, no,
We have a
for
real,
real.
we have a real problem here.
That's what
So,
him and So Gucci, I think, work. I think they both are attention seekers.
mhm.
They both have to be the most popular in the room, the loudest in the room, all of those things. And neither of them want to look like they're something that's other than fun and goofy. Yep, that's right, Jen Bunny. You ain't told one lie. But yeah, they don't want to look like anything that's not positive. They care too much about their perception. I think so. Gucci and JJ are guilty of that. I also think Letitia and Glenn are too. But yeah, I just don't like them as a couple. I don't take them seriously.
I don't either. So the ladies they decide to move forward, and pretty much she tells Selena that they'll have communication and not include JJ because he's not ready for that yet. And if you need communication, you have to go through me. Some shit she's there like that. And I was like, man, first off, if some shit happened with one of them three triplets, she got to call JJ. Okay, it ain't gonna be through you. So you can forget about that shit. She said that was petty as hell. So we then move on inside. We have another rift in the friend group that seemed to have been mending over food. So the ladies are about to eat. Marie decides, she's gonna cook some burgers, and she said she's gonna make Latrice one. And oh, that served up all kind of attention, especially Tambra. Just the cheese, and she goes, she making Latrice a burger. And I was Keisha. I would make your ass a mayonnaise sandwich, let alone a damn burger. That's how I know shit crazy. And we'll get to them in a minute. But you know, I don't know what Latrice was saying. She was all over the place. She said, what it is with me and Marie is, I think Marie, on social media, she just feed into, all of the things. But Marie, when we first met, she hurt me. Marie said, "You hurt me too. It was me as well." And she go, "But no, but Marie, you be feeding into social media and the things they say about you and everything." And I said, "What the fuck are we going? What are we doing? This is silly." And then Marie said, "Hey, bring your bun over here. I'll put your burger on your bun." And I said, "Oh my god." And so Gucci and Selena walk in, and the ladies are all shocked at what's going on right now because they're walking in together. And I think it was Tisha who asked. Tisha asked, "Okay, so what happened with you guys outside? Like, did y'all hug it out?" And Selena said, "Yeah." Gucci's like, "Nah." And so she pushed. She's like, "We made up, Heifer. We made up. We good." And Letitia is just happy. She goes, "Oh my god, you guys!" And I'm looking at Letitia like, "Oh, someone get her off my screen. I can't take Letitia. She's so damn fake." So Selena said, "Let me drink this shot, and I'm gonna go before the men get here because I don't want JJ to see me here." And I said, "The fuck? You grown and you a part of the show. He just got to deal with you. He didn't pay for the shit." Hi, Joseph Felton. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate you. I'm what I'll tell you, that was crazy. Like so, Selena leaves and then the men walk in like directly. There's no way that they didn't see her. There's no way they didn't see Selena leave because they literally walked in as she walked out. So there's no way they didn't see her. But whatever, I digress. And so as soon as the men walk in, they had I think it was Letitia who panned out. "Look at y'all, Marie made Latrice a burger," and all the men were like, "What?" Especially Cliff. Cliff was like, "Who?" And Latrice was like, "Yeah, the burger was good and everything." And so Letitia is so happy. Letitia's like, "Oh my god, like just so much came out of this trip. My brunch went well. Look at Marie and Latrice." And then Gucci and Selena had a conversation. And as soon as she said that, you saw Gucci face like, "Oh shit. Girl, you weren't supposed to say nothing. You weren't supposed to talk like that. You weren't supposed to do all of that." And JJ was like, "Wait, what happened? What?" And then he says a confessional, like, "What did I tell her? I can't win for losing." And it was like, JJ. So you would much rather them have tension with each other and then be at odds versus them being grown ass women and mending the fence so that way they can move forward, right? You would rather them have tension and not deal with each other. Okay. Either it was a jump edit or Selena was hiding in the bushes until JJ and then went in. I'm telling you, because she literally, she walked out and they walked in. So I was like, there's no way they didn't see her. There's no way. I don't believe that. It must have been an edit. It must have. Mrs. Best, how did you feel about JJ's reaction to the Tisha spilling the beans about Gucci and Selena having a conversation?
JJ needs to grow up. At this point, I think that JJ's just proving the points that he tries to make against Selena. "Oh, she can't get over this. Oh, she problematic. Oh, she wants a problem with me." It looks like you want a problem with her because your kids is mad at you for another reason. And that came out of their mouths. So you tripping on having to see Selena as if she's the problem, but you refuse to even hold your wife accountable, even in the slightest. But JJ always wants to have a big opinion on everybody else and always wants to be in the business of women. So I'm just like, eh. And the marriage to me is a joke. I don't think these people are actually intimate with each other. I think a lot of what they do is just for show and to be and look like the biggest people in the room. I agree with you, Jen Bunny. JJ is the problem. Selena was willing to meet with this woman. She's got her own man, so she can't still want him. She's good with her kids. She seems to want her kids to have their father in their life because he has been in their life through all the drama. This seems to be one of the few times that they are actively not talking. So I'm just over it with JJ. I think that JJ is so concerned with his own self, his own feelings, and how he looks that he's not even thinking about his kids. And it's unfortunate because he's just wasting time. Right. Joseph, that's what we expected. That's what we expected. That's exactly what we expected. But why are you mad that your wife and your baby mama got cool? Especially when they don't have to see each other like that because, like you said, the kids are grown. So he needs to
It
listen
makes
to
me
his
wonder if he's
kids.
hiding something.
He needs to listen to his kids. I said it a few episodes ago. So Gucci and JJ are hiding something just based on how they move. Just
Like,
based on how they move.
and listen, let me explain something to you. These types of dynamics, it's best for everybody to get along because they're starting to have grandchildren. And you don't want it to be such a separate event, especially if the kids don't know it to be that way. And you guys can't be cordial in the room. Like, your daughter finna have another baby, you missed her baby shower. What happens when Star and, or is it Sky? Which one has the kids? I don't, one of them
Star
damn.
has the kids.
Okay, what happens if
Sky
Sky and
doesn't.
Sanjay decide to get pregnant and have kids? Are you gonna miss their baby showers too because you had
I
all
would
that
never
going on?
forgive my dad for that. No matter what's going on in the family, especially over a bitch that you married that ain't actual blood, you not about to be ignoring and making my kids have to miss out on the luxury of having a granddad just because your bitch of a wife don't know how to act and keep her feelings in order. Like, you're not going to do that. I understand sticking beside your wife at all cost, but it's very clear that your wife charged at her and has talked about this lady season after season, and the lady ain't said nothing about her. So no matter how you cut it and whatever happened in the past from what we've seen on the show, so Gucci has been the problem and now JJ is the problem. So I think it would be very difficult for his daughters to forgive him in this situation because of the fact that they are parents now and are not just in the position of being the children who view it from that perspective. Now they have the perspective of being the child as well as being the adult as well as being the parent. And I can see them losing some type of respect for their dad. You're gonna do all this over a lady who don't even barely acknowledge her own kids. So it's just a hot mess express.
Which we'll get to in just a second here. But you know, they then have a conversation. Him and JJ and Gucci have a conversation about how did this conversation happen? What what it was, and Gucci tell him that Letitia invited her here, and I felt it was the right time since we're all breaking bread and y'all were not here, and JJ is kind of like once again shutting this down to where I don't want to have to deal with her. My kids are grown. Like, I don't want to have to be around her or anything like that. And it's like, JJ, however she fits. Carlos King wanted her to be a star of the show, a main cast member on Belle Collective based on the reception that the fans had when they first saw her on camera with y'all asses. So either you gonna be on the show, keep it cordial and keep it nice because they've already made up, or you just be an asshole and get off the show if it really is that detrimental to you. But I'm just so sick. I don't like JJ, and I never really saw it for him. But this kind of put the nail in the coffin for me because it's not that fucking deep. It's not. All you have to say was, "I'm glad y'all made amends. Hopefully we can all be one big happy family."
Like, what is JJ even mad at? Your wife charged at her. Your wife pressed the charges. Your wife took this to court. Why are you mad?
Maybe because Gucci got her ass whooped. I don't know, but it's really crazy. It's just really crazy. Maybe that's what it is. But they leave the Airbnb late at night and they go back to Mississippi. And the next thing we see is Marie as he walks in, and they're talking, updates about the new clinic that they open and that it's coming along. And then also, this is the moment where we have Marie setting up for her graduation party. She is now a doctor of what kind of medical, some shit. But she's now Dr. Marie, and they're very happy. And Effie begins coughing, and that makes Marie nervous because as we know, a lot of Effie's lungs are no longer viable, so she only has like maybe 10%. So things are real tough for her, and she wants Marie to stop worrying about her, and and focus on the business because things still have to move on. Effie, I keep saying Effie. Effie is still in good spirit. She knows that life has to go on, and she is fighting to the end. And I love Essie for this. And that's why I say Essie will always be one of my favorites. She really is. She will always be one of my favorites on the show. Regardless of her not being a main cast member or not, she's always going to be my favorite because she just seems like she's such a sweetheart. And I wish her and Marie would just be together. I do. I know that's very selfish of me to say on my channel, but I just really, I this was the time I really wish two friends who are in love with each other and really see it for each other just be together. That's all. And they would make a cute couple. They really would. But that's neither here nor there. Letitia walked her blonde head wicked ass up in there. And y'all know I don't like Letitia. So for those of y'all who love Letitia, sorry, this ain't the channel for you. I don't like her. Love the daddy, but don't like her. But she walks in and they, she tells the ladies, or it tells Marie because Essie excuses herself out the room. And she tells her about, the biopsy, and they said that once they did her mammogram, everything, and saw what the, whatever was in her breast is very small, that if it is something, they could easily remove it. So we're happy that it's nothing big. Happy for her health. I really am. I didn't want her to experience anything. As I told you guys, I've had a parent who passed from cancer. I don't wish that upon anybody, even someone I don't see it for. I don't wish that upon her. So I'm glad that they're saying this is not anything huge. And I'm glad that she is, making sure she gets this checked up on. Marie takes this moment to say, so Letitia, where was my banner? Why was I not supported at your brunch? And Letitia said, Marie, there was nothing to be found of your banners or anything. You gave it to a third party person, and I don't know what happened. Everybody else made sure that their banners were already there. And I'm like, so what is the real story here? Because Marie, on one hand, is acting like it's Letitia, and Letitia's telling Marie, "You hired a I can't even talk, a third party person to bring your stuff there, and they didn't do it." So I'm just like, why are we still arguing about this? Like, it's so stupid, Mr. Spence. How
Marie just don't want to look bad. Marie, we already know you told us that Essie handles the paperwork at UMR, so it sounds like on the clinical side or documentation, but I don't know. I don't know. Marie, if everybody at the event was given the same instructions on how to get their banners there, right? And everybody else followed through, then Marie, you cannot be the only one that somehow made the mistake. It's giving that Marie thought because she was closest to Letitia that Letitia would figure it out for her. That's what it's giving. But I don't really care. Marie, I don't really I don't care. I just don't care. Cause why you want to advertise anything at Letitia brunch anyway? No shade. I'm just keeping it real. That doesn't give me somewhere that I would go to help my business to succeed. It just does not give that. Um,
especially when we know, well, we don't know, but we know according to people who have attended that her brunches be a joke,
they
and
are a joke. I
how we
would
only saw three little trays, and you in New
She had
Orleans of
a
all places.
bayou brunch away from the bayou. For those who know what an actual bayou is, my grandfather had one. May his soul rest in peace. My family's from New Orleans, Jackson Parish, Kidder, all of that. My family's from Louisiana. Okay, an actual bayou. Yes, it's a bayou state. Yes, it's a bayou city. But that damn brunch was just somewhere it looked like in the French Quarter. It wasn't by no bayou. I don't take Letitia's brunches seriously. I wouldn't even hire Letitia to plan a wedding. I would maybe trust her to like plan a little hood baby shower, but that's about it. I know Latricia tries, and I respect the effort, and I believe that she is successful as an entrepreneur in business and things that she does not show on this show. But as for the book and the brunches, she can keep it.
It's about women's empowerment and entrepreneurship. I want to see boss ladies just do it.
All
That's what
she
we're
does
here
is have
for.
people explain their business, what they do, say that people can ask them questions, and we see the same thing season after season. Persevere. I didn't give up. I had nothing when I started. Now look at me. It's more like a motivational brunch, if anything, because the things that you need to know to actively start and maintain a business, I've not seen shared on camera. I've not seen it. I'm not trying to down Letitia because I do think she is a good businesswoman in the businesses that she has that thrive that she does not show on this show. That's how I feel. But the brunches, let it go. Please, Letitia. Let the brunches go. Let the wigs go. Let your husband go. Let all of it go.
Don't you know? I wouldn't even trust her to do a hood gender reveal or a hood baby shower because don't nobody want a burnt up spaghetti, bagged green salad, and
I feel like Letitia would get the cake right. I do.
I feel like she'd the type to go to Costco.
Shut up. Well, Costco got the best buttercream frosted, so she may get the cake right. I love me some Costco.
Well, let's hope she ain't never planning none of my shit. I would never trust her with anything. Cause see, then I'll be, sharing a cell with Luigi over there. So I ain't got time for all that. She look like y'all act like y'all didn't see them burnt ass waffles and that burnt bacon, that one that Aikisha pointed out. Y'all act like y'all didn't see that shit.
Yeah.
Y'all act like y'all didn't see that. I'm good. Letitia can't do nothing for me but entertain me on the show that she's on now. That's all she can do for me at this point, and she's lacking in that.
She can't
So
even get her husband to tell her if he could keep a job or not.
right,
I mean, he got a whole nother man coming to her. Letitia got too much that she needs to figure out in her own life before she tries to give anyone advice on anything.
absolutely, absolutely, 100% agree. So the next thing we see is Selena goes over to y'all. Forgive me. What is this baby's name? He got the one of the triplets. There you go, one of the triplets.
It was Star's house.
Okay, so she pulls up the Stars double wide and goes up in her house, and she plans on opening a business venture with her daughters, calling it the Four S's since their names all begin with an S. So as she's revealing all of the banners and all of the things, the clothing line, she shows the girls are all excited or whatever. And I'm just like, well, hopefully that goes well. And, I plan for all business success. I love to see it. Love to see Black entrepreneurship in any way, shape, or form. So she sits down and she tells the girls about New Orleans and how she goes to Letitia's brunches, and she was having one in New Orleans where she was going to be the greeter. And I'm looking at Selena like, Selena, I ain't never seen you at this lady's brunch. They just now showing pictures of you, but that looked like that was recent shit. That don't look like you've been to that lady's shit before the show.
I don't think Letitia was doing these brunches before the show.
I don't think she did either. I think this was some new shit. I
That's
do.
probably why she saw that. I do remember from earlier seasons seeing Selena in a lot of scenes because they pointed out JJ's ex-wife. JJ, so I do.
When Gucci got to the show,
Yeah,
yes.
when
But
Gucci got to the
before,
show,
no.
but I don't think Letitia had this going on prior. I just don't. She give me
No.
the friend that always has a new business venture every couple years.
Yeah, which ain't nothing wrong with, but I mean, at least let it look presentable and at least let us see you put some effort into it. I mean, come on now, it's not that hard. How hard is it to get a caterer? You can get a caterer for less than $500. Like I'm just saying, it's so crazy to me. But moving on from there, we talked. That she then says that as the event left, she went back to the house and she had a conversation with Shantae, and she left that conversation feel like they were great and that things were good. And so Sanjay, the oldest, said, "Well, have you talked to her since y'all been back?" And I said, "That's a good question, but then it's not because." If we're thinking logically, why would they have a conversation after that? If this is the I was confused by that question, but Selena answered. She goes, "No." Then the girl said, "Well, then you can't really take that as a move forward if she's not continuing." And I'm just like, yes and no. I saw what she was saying, but here's my thing about this because then now Selena's kind of reverting back to questioning whether or not the apology is genuine. Now, for me, I'm gonna give Gucci the benefit of the doubt. I believe the apology was genuine, and I do think she does want to move forward because this does affect JJ regardless of how he's acting. It does affect him. So I want to give Gucci the benefit of the doubt to say it was genuine. Now, where I'm a clock Sanjay, I think that's who it is. What I'm gonna clock her is that I feel like to me, because they don't have a relation, they did not have a relationship prior to this fight. They were always just in a cordial space. I could see if they were friends, or I could see if they were in a position where you two or you three saw them as like best good girlfriends, while one's married to your father and one used to be, but they've made it the best co-parenting situation ever. I could see if that was the situation. Then yes, I understand that, but it never felt like that to me. Mrs. Best, did it feel like that to you? That they just had like the most best co-parenting situation ever?
I think at one point they did during Bring It, but at the same time, I didn't see anything wrong with what Sanjay said. I just didn't. I feel like if you want to make peace and your side and your end are the aggressors, the people who have brought the law into it, the people who have made this a big deal, the people who have spoken negatively in the public eye. Selena was in the public eye before JJ or Soguchi were in the public eye, and never did she speak negatively on him or the wife in that way. She was just like, my ex-husband's goofy, he get on my nerves, but but they never spoke on them negatively. So I personally feel like if it's JJ and Soguchi that are the problem and making it to where it's him that's refusing to talk to the girls because of something that his wife did, then yeah, they do need to reach out. Because if you wanted to talk, you don't have to have a relationship with Selena. But if you know that your husband's not in the place to talk to them, then you could be in a space where you're talking to your husband's daughters or trying to talk to their mom as a way to connect with the daughters to open up that bridge. Like, there's so much that Soguchi could be doing that she is not doing, in my opinion. But I totally agreed with everything that Sanjay said, and I think that's something she said that was very important. Uh is the dad that they have an issue with, the issue doesn't actually have anything to do with Selena, the reason that they're not talking to her. It doesn't have to do with that. It has to do with Soguchi and her behavior. So it's not because of all of that. It's because of what Soguchi has done and what JJ has allowed. That is still those girls' father. And there's nothing that should be happening as a wife that Soguchi should be okay with that causes him not to be around his kids. It's just how I'ma feel. But I don't think JJ is ever gonna like get it together. And his kids are grown now. So with them grandbabies, I wouldn't want my child around Soguchi. Hell, she not even around her own grandchild like that. I don't want her around my child if I was Star and Sky and all of them. So
I
yeah.
agree with that, like to some extent. But we're gonna move on to actual since we're talking about her. Let's move on to D and Soguchi because D drives over to the house and she decides to go on a walk with her mom and they talk and she tells her pretty much that that her and Selena had a conversation and Dee's taken aback because anytime the family is mentioned, this is a trigger for Dee and it's very clear. And she makes it a point that you're more focused on repairing JJ's relationship with his ex-wife and his children, that you're neglecting me and my brother. Now, I forgot, or maybe I didn't remember, or maybe she didn't talk about it. I didn't know Toguchi had a son. I just thought it was only D. So the fact that she got a whole nother child and we see him later, but I was like, where has his son been all this time? Mrs. Spence, did you know that she had a son? I did not know that.
Like I said, this lady don't even have the ability to have her. She has to mend her own relationship with her children. She's pushed her own kids away from her. Her kids is closer than the step grandmama than they is to her. And she has the time. So that tells you that she probably was more focused on JJ and his kids and keep the peace at one point than she was on her own kids. I didn't know the bitch had a son. I did not know, y'all. I had no clue. I feel like you should mention
No,
that more. And if your daughter feels this way, I'm sure your son feels a way too because boys experience and express themselves
yeah.
differently than females do. They
The
just
reason
do. They
the
just do.
reason why
So
I felt like where was this son this entire time? Because JJ has complained about this being all girls and like and he was so excited about this grandson, let alone, but you have a stepson this entire time.
maybe the
Like,
son is Soguchi's child with a different father from D, and maybe he's able to like connect and live with his dad or something. Because that
but
is very strange to never mention the son whatsoever, but then he's able to pop up on cameras. So
right,
this
just
what I
to
mean.
do
So Gucci and JJ, that's why I think they hiding something. They so busy talking shit about Selena and making a beef and trying to make it look like Selena and JJ's kids is wrong, that there's so much shit that we don't know about their family dynamic and what's going on, that it's like a block. It's like a deflection. Like JJ, why the hell you kicking it with D's baby daddy when this girl couldn't drop her baby off to the baby daddy? She had to drop the baby off to her
Yeah.
grandma when she felt like she was going to unalive herself. She didn't think to go to that man, but JJ's going with that man and being friendly and all of that. So I think that D, Gucci, JJ. I think there's some sort of toxic dynamic they don't want us to see. And the thing is, JJ and Gucci have enough of a storyline without talking crap about Selena and the daughters to be on this show. But I feel like they use that more to talk about on TV because they're counting on the relevancy from the previous show that they were on. That's why I say they're just more concerned about how they look, being popular, and things like that. Carlos, you need to get your shows in order. All of them are fucked up. All of them. I'm sorry to say. All of them are fucked up, from Love and Marriage Huntsville to Love and Marriage Detroit to Belle Collective. All these shows are tore up on the flow up. Hold your cast accountable and treat them like the staff members that they are and make them give what you want them to give. And if they don't, then put their ass out, because right now they fucking up the church's pieces of change. And I'm tired of it.
I just felt like that went over my head. I was like, whoa, like I did not know you had a son this entire time. Meanwhile, your husband is talking about how there's no boys in the family. Then Mrs. Best brought up a good point where he's over there going to the baby daddy of D all up in his barbershop. Meanwhile, he could have met with your son and explained what that relationship was like. I just felt like that was crazy to me. But Dee says, if you had a better relationship with us instead of you being so selfish, then I would have called you before I drove to the bridge. And all of a sudden that hit Gucci hard where she just hugged her. She goes, I'm sorry. And I'm looking at her like, ma'am, I don't want to hear it no more
She ain't
because
sorry. She ain't sorry. I feel like D comes to her mom and says things that she does not want to say on camera because it's the only time she can reach her mom. I genuinely believe that. Yeah, like if I was at work and not on YouTube analyzing these people or counseling these people, I would definitely feel as if this is D's only way to come to her mom, because D does come on camera looking like she is actively going through something. You could tell that she's hurting from the moment we've seen her on this show to now. There's never a season where we see Soguchi and D's not speaking about how she wants to hear more, receive more, get closer to her mom. You know what that tells me when I see it season after season since Gucci got on this show? That Gucci's full of shit and will apologize and say sorry and try to look like the understanding parent on this show because of what people will say back to her. But this child is still hurting. This child is still making the same complaints to Gucci year after year, season after season. So that means Gucci's not doing shit to change it. And I just want her to actually fix it with her kids, because you could tell D is hurting.
absolutely you could see it in her. She can't even get a conversation without her crying to her mom. And I'm just hoping that, this does turn new leaf. I hope that Gucci does see the errors of her ways and definitely tries to make, because her daughter needs her. I've been in that situation, y'all. There's nothing more pertinent than your parents being there for you through those moments. And she needs her. She needs her mother. So I'm hoping that this works out great. So moving on from there, we then have a small little scene with Latrice. She's about to have her grand opening of Goddess Links, Taste. So she's putting together, the events and everything. She's talking about who she's inviting, and she's pretty much inviting everybody except Marie. And Cliff was like, well, Marie made you a burger. I thought everything was fine. And she says in her confessional, she said, no, me and Marie are not good. But yeah, she could definitely make me a burger. And I was looking at her like, girl, fine, whatever. Is there anything you want to add to that, Mrs. Best? Because I want to get her scene out.
No, I want Latrice to keep it real about your marriage, file for divorce or something. I don't care. We know you don't like Marie, so I don't blame her for not inviting her.
We
That's
got
about
yeah,
it.
exactly. So she brings up this thing where at the opening, Letitia is also throwing Glenn a birthday party, which kind of steps on the toes of, because she doesn't know why Letitia would plan this, as she knows she's having these grand openings. So I'm hoping they dive into that more next episode, and hopefully we see a little bit more of it. The next thing we're going to talk about is Gucci is throwing this event where she's going to talk about fitness health, mental health. She has a panel. Aikisha is pretty much running the whole thing, as a co-host. And they had doctors up there, fitness experts, and everything. And it was Letitia who asked the question of, you know, how can you, if someone has experienced like a mental, illness or mental, unwellness, how do we, get them to get help without actually pressuring them to do it? Some question she asked like that. And they answered it, Mrs. Best, how do you, as a specialist in this, how did you feel the answer was? Because
I
I thought,
mean, yeah, I thought the doctor up there spoke appropriately, which, by the way, the doctor is way more educated than I am. But she definitely did describe appropriately how to handle somebody with mental health. Letitia, I want you to go back to school, find an adult school locally, and take an English class. Absolutely not. Mississippi may have its issues economically, but they do have a good school system and some of the best colleges in the country. I want for Letitia to figure it out because she struggled to even get the doggone question out. But I do like that they are trying to bring awareness to mental health, especially in Black communities on Black networks, because communities of color often are resistant to mental health based on the prejudice and treatments that they deal with in their little lives. So yeah, I liked it. I liked what they tried to do. But I'm sorry, James, I have to call out Gucci again. This mental health event, your daughter just told you that she needs you to be there around her and champion her for mental health. And here you go trying to help other people. It's okay to take. I'm like, and I work in mental health, y'all. I do. I'm a social worker, and I've worked in residential centers, treatment facilities, stabilization units, all those things. But your daughter just cried to you saying that she feels like you don't acknowledge her mental health. So I like that you did that event, but I hope that
it's
she's
something
actually
where
given
I
her
felt
child,
like get your daughter stuff together first, and then
and
from that
then do that.
period, then do that. I
You
agree with
got to
that.
take care of yourself, then your family, your immediate family, your children, things like that, and then you can help other people. It's harder to help people and give them the best version of yourself and put together events when your own child is toe up. But so Gucci did put together a nice event, so I'll give
It
her
was
that.
very nice. I'm proud of her for doing that. Yes, and the last thing we're going to talk about is because I don't feel like the collective, recapping how the presentation went. Fine, we got all that. The last thing is Marie's event. Now Marie is, celebrating, her doctoral graduation, which we once again are extremely proud of Marie. That is a wonderful accomplishment. It's one I want myself. So
Bitch,
I'm
you better start acting like a doctor.
Yes. So yes, Mrs. Best said. But I'm really proud of Marie. I really am. Essie is there to congratulate her. Tambra shows up, which was amazing. Tambra gave a speech about how proud she is also of Marie because Marie works really, really hard. And Tambra, I thought that was very big of Tambra. Um, Gucci, Letitia, and husbands were late. They missed all of that. And I was like, see, y'all are wrong. Y'all are all wrong for that. How y'all gonna show up after all the speeches? And I
You
also
should
forgot.
celebrate. I feel like even though people we don't like how Marie is in the friend group and how messy she is, but this is an African American person, an African American woman that really did work her way from the very bottom to the top that has become a doctor. And we are in desperate need of more doctors of color, especially Black doctors of
Yes,
any sort. So it's definitely something that should be celebrated. I expected Letitia to be on time at least.
me too. I looked at that as well. It is a part, yes, and we need that number to go up. We really do. But I forgot also that Marie had two twin boys. How the hell I forgot about that? I don't know because we focused on the daughter and the son with the three kids born in the same year. I keep forgetting about she has other twin boys too, and they have grown up. I was like, damn, I forgot Marie had them boys. So, okay, Dr. Jim Bunny, we see you. I am so proud of you, my love.
That's
That is amazing.
amazing.
I'm next. I want to get mine as well. I really do. I want to
Do
get
it.
mine. I've been talking about it. I'm now in a position where I can, so I'm actually going to go ahead and get mine too. Um, Yeah, and that's what I said. Even Tambra was on time, and her and Marie have been at odds. So that just goes to show you, Marie, you need to be paying attention to this. The teacher ain't your real friend. And I'm starting to think Gucci ain't either. So you need to start paying attention to these things because they were late as hell.
Letitia was Marie's friend, I think, because one, they had a better bond, but in earlier seasons, I think she just latched on to whoever would take her, to be completely honest. But I noticed that Letitia this season has tried to distance herself from Marie. A lot of people didn't like how Marie acted at that last reunion prior to this season, acting like you was gonna attack Latrice at the reunion, trying to gang up on her, being mad that you wasn't invited to the Capitol and all of these things. So I feel like Letitia's now trying to distance herself from Marie because she did see that they looked like some mean girls. But if you really somebody's friend, you gonna rock with them through the hard and the good.
I'm thankful she wasn't there personally because y'all know I don't like her. Um,
Her and that damn shimmy.
yes. I am so proud. Once again, I'm proud of you, friend. That is an amazing accomplishment. And we'll be right there with you. Dr. James Jackson is coming. Dr. James Jackson Jordan, that is. The Tamara was on time. But once again, the event went nice. So the last thing we'll talk about is Glenn pulling JJ to the side to talk about the brunch and what happened in New Orleans or whatever. And I'm just like, why are we talking about this again? Why are we bringing this up? And I get it's because JJ came at Letitia at So Gucci's event. I get all of that. But you should have checked him then. Not wait for a whole nother event and check him now. Because now I'm not interested. I don't care. Like, what? That was the time to do it
I mean,
because you were there
Glenn
in the room.
was Glenn there when he approached JJ, or was
Yeah.
he away?
The
Oh,
first
then
saw
that's
him. Keep me honest, y'all. Was Glenn? I felt like Glenn was there. I mean, not Glenn. Yeah, Glenn. I felt Glenn was there. I do. I feel like I looked at. Actually, matter of
because
fact,
when JJ came up
matter
to
of
Letitia,
fact.
from what I remember, Glenn was in the room, but he was not actively a part of that conversation. I agree with you also, Jim Bunny. JJ was not rude at all. Dr. Jim Bunny, 1984. You need to fix your name. But I, I don't know. It was weird. Like, at the end of the day, this is a Letitia trip. Glenn, now you want to stand up for your wife, but before you had her on reality television reunions, hoping that you would get a paternity test. So I'm just saying, I don't take Glenn or Letitia seriously. I think they just want a moment. But at the same time, JJ, you don't need to be talking to no woman about any of that. Oh, he sure is there.
Letitia was right there, front and center, right there. And this is the moment it happened because there's Letitia's side face, and there go JJ with them plats. So yeah, he was there, and he could have said it then. He could have
Interesting.
said something
Yeah,
then.
he probably just wanted a moment because Letitia and Glenn don't really have a moment. Glenn done been fired from his job. Allegedly, he's working for Pepsi now. Good for him. But
Mhm.
Glenn, go start a business. That's what you're
Right.
supposed to be doing. It's like I feel like Glenn always shows up for Letitia when it's too late.
It's
They
too
probably
late
got
because I
home
don't even want to
and
talk
she
about
was
it.
like, "Why was I in that conversation alone, Glenn? Why didn't you have my back, Glenn? I shouldn't have to address no man, Glenn." I guarantee you they went home and she wouldn't shut the fuck up. So he said, "All right, the next time I see him, I'ma speak on it." And he did that because it didn't make any sense, but at the same time, a lot of what he was saying was not true. It's just Glenn should have said that sooner than later.
Absolutely, because now I'm uninterested. I don't even want to talk about it because it's like that was stupid. You could have. You were sitting right there. You could have said something right then and there and be like, "My wife can invite whoever she wants to invite." The same way Letitia said it at that moment. So I don't care. I felt like that was whack. And I felt like if you had a problem or if you felt the way, don't wait till Letitia processes it and tell you should have stood up for me. You should immediately clock that and shut that down because he shouldn't have addressed your wife at all.
My husband would never let another man address me like that, even if it was
Absolutely.
polite. But hey, just talk to me. Just talk to me, dude. I can hear him. Just talk to me. Don't talk to her. Because
Even
then
if
I'm
he didn't
get
know what was
mad. Just
going
talk to
on,
me.
like even still, even if he didn't know what was going on, be like, hey, this ain't about to happen like this. What do you need? I'll address her. What do you need to tell? That's what should have happened. But that was the episode,
But you know,
y'all.
Glenn don't respect his wife. He don't respect his wife the way he should.
We
We
know
know
he don't,
that.
but but yeah. But that was the episode. It was a good episode. That's all I have to say. But thank you so much once again, Mrs. Best, for being here. I appreciate everybody in the chat, Joseph Felton, Jim Bunny. I appreciate all of you guys. Please subscribe to the channel, like the video, get the algorithm going for us, because I'm telling y'all, we have it live here. We're here every week. We're trying to get this YouTube. I'm trying to get monetized. Mrs. Best is already there, so I'm trying to get where it gets, y'all. And we all got room to eat on the table. So make sure you tell a friend, like the video, subscribe to the channel. And thank you, Jim Bunny. I totally appreciate this. Thank you so much. Next week episode is going to be... It might as well be. It might as well be. I'm telling you. Just crazy.
Did
But
you see on the preview for the next week episode? Willie tried to line up his dreadlocks. They had to use the fake hairline that they use at the barber
that's
for
all
him. They
that.
couldn't line it up because there was nothing there. I said, "Oh Jesus!"
It's like, shave your head. Man, stop wearing plaits. And if you can't grow your hair, shave it off. Because anytime we wearing wigs and Beijings and stuff, it's not a good look. It just isn't. It looks like clay and ink on our head. But that's it, y'all. I'm talking too much. Tomorrow we'll be on my channel for Love and Marriage Huntsville. I cannot wait to get into this. I want to do an unpopular opinion about Tisha exposing Martell Holt's alleged comings of men, but he has not responded yet, y'all, and I don't know what's going on, but I am waiting for the
If
response.
he's smart, he'd be going to his lawyer. Because if he
Yes,
do
and
deal with men,
shutting it all down. She's still talking about it.
mhm.
So I want to do an unpopular opinion on it, but at the same time, I need a response from him because I need to see how he debunks this. Because one, I believe it. I do. And I've told you, if you guys watch my channel in the beginning when I first started doing Love and Marriage Huntsville, I have said he reminds me of a man who is running from homosexuality. And I said this time and time again because that's how they act. So so when he responds, I'm definitely gonna do an unpopular opinion, and I hope everybody will be there. But we're gonna do Love and Marriage Huntsville's episode because tonight's episode looks like it's about to be on hit. Ken gonna get it, y'all. I feel like Ken is gonna get it, y'all.
I
So
don't feel like it is. Love and Marriage Huntsville has failed me since we've done these recaps. I don't know what they're doing. We talking about the same thing now for just multiple seasons. I want to
yeah.
move on.
Well, we got to be here. So, but thank you for showing up. I appreciate you, Fran. And I'll see you guys on my recap tomorrow. I'll make sure to try to put a time in my communication so you guys know when we go live. Me and Mrs. Best will talk about that later. But thank you guys once again. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye now.